Hi.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you see and hear me well?
Yes, again.
Okay, that's good to know. Alright, so before we start, let me introduce myself. My
Mm-hmm.
name is Marge, and what's your name?
My name is Cookie.
Cookie. It's nice meeting you, Cookie, and welcome to my
Yeah,
class.
nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you. Alright, so yes, before we start, can you tell me something about your day?
Okay, so today I was outside all day long. So I've just woken up from my nap because
Ah,
I'm so exhausted because the stay was so long. And so I got my haircut and went shopping as well. And so I was so tired. So after taking a bath, so yeah, I was a little bit so taking a short sleep. Yeah. So
yes.
but I forgot to I forgot taking the lesson for today. So I've just heard it now.
All right. Okay. So yes, thank you for sharing your day with me, Cookie.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's start the lesson. So you choose Daily News Life. This is Generation X struggling to balance work, family, and health. Okay, so now let's move on to words and phrases.
Mhm.
So in this part, let's learn some of the words and phrases that are used in this article. So we have 5 words. So let's start with number 1. I play the audio.
Burden.
Burden.
Yes, let's listen to the sample sentence.
Caring for elderly parents can be a heavy burden.
Caring for elderly parents can be a heavy burden.
Yes, this is a noun, a heavy load or responsibility. Okay, so yes, let's make a sample sentence using the word burden. So can I have your sentence, please?
Okay. Hmm, Paying a large amount of tax is a common burden among young people.
Yes, exactly. That's very great example sentence using the word burden. Thank you for that, Cookie. Now let's move on to the second word. I played the audio.
Discretionary.
Discretionary.
So let's listen to the sample sentence.
Employees can use their discretionary budget for travel expenses.
Employees can use their discretionary budget for travel expenses.
Yes, this is adjective available for use at the discretion of the user.
Hmm.
Yes, discretionary.
Okay, discretionary. Hmm. Hmm. Employees have discretionary equipment like monitors or laptops in their office.
Yes, that's also a good sample sentence using the word discretionary. All right. So next word, I played the audio.
Constraint.
Constraint.
Let's listen to the sample sentence.
The budget constraint limited our project expansion.
The budget constraint limited our project expansion.
Yes. Okay. This is a noun, a limitation or restriction. Constraint.
The financial constraints prevented me from buying buying residence in Tokyo.
All right. So yes, again, that's really a good sentence using the word constraint. Now let's move on to the next.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
She decided to sacrifice her career to raise her children.
She decided to sacrifice her career to raise her children.
Yes. Okay, so this is a verb to give up something important for the sake of others.
Mm.
Sacrifice.
Mm,
Mm,
sacrifice. Mm, uh, sacrifice. I. Mm, I had to sacrifice my money for for the sake of my life.
mm. Yeah, can be. Yes. Okay, that's also a good sample sentence. Alright, so now let's move on to the next word and play the audio.
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion.
Yes. Okay, so let's listen to the sample sentence.
After working all night, he collapsed from exhaustion.
After working all night, he collapsed from exhaustion.
So this is a noun, extremely physical or mental fatigue.
Mhm, yeah. The exhaustion due to staying outside made me sleepy.
Yes, that's also a good sample sentence. Alright, so thank you very much, Cookie. Now let's move on to comprehension part, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, we have, can you please check the direction first?
Okay.
Alright, so in this part, we have 3 questions that we are going to answer later. But before that, let's check the questions one by one. Okay, so number 1, what financial priorities do Generation X individuals have? Okay, number 2, how does familial responsibility affects the financial flexibility of Generation X? Number 3, why do Generation X individuals struggle with time constraints? Alright, so to answer these questions, let's listen to the audio article. Okay, so I play it here now. So let's listen.
Generation X. Struggling to balance work, family, and health. Generation X. Born between 1965 and 1980. Struggles to balance work, childcare, and elder care. A November 2024 study by Mintel Japan examined their financial and caregiving burdens in Japan, Germany, and the United States. The study highlights their difficulties in managing expenses and maintaining personal well-being. Financially, Generation X prioritizes household expenses over personal spending. The study found that 70% of financially stable individuals were married. However, most had less than 30,000 yen in discretionary income. In contrast, unmarried individuals had 50,000 yen or more. Family responsibilities significantly impact financial flexibility. Many cut back on fashion and travel, but invest heavily in children's education. This reflects the increasing costs of long-term learning. Beyond finances, many in Generation X support aging parents. They assist with shopping, household tasks, and medical visits. However, few contribute directly to elderly care or housing costs. Among those living with parents, 40% help with daily tasks, while 20% provide medical and digital support. This highlights the growing burden of caregiving. Time constraints add to their struggles. Work and family duties leave little room for rest. A survey in Germany found that parents often sacrifice relaxation and sleep. They prioritize family needs over personal well-being. Without better support systems, these pressures may lead to exhaustion. The urgent need for policies addressing Generation X's challenges is clear.
Alright, so are we good with the audio or do you want to listen one more time?
I will listen again.
Okay, so it starts now.
Generation X. Struggling to balance work, family, and health. Generation X. Born between 1965 and 1980. Struggles to balance work, childcare, and elder care. A November 2024 study by Mintel Japan examined their financial and caregiving burdens in Japan, Germany, and the United States. The study highlights their difficulties in managing expenses and maintaining personal well-being. Financially, Generation X prioritizes household expenses over personal spending. The study found that 70% of financially stable individuals were married. However, most had less than 30,000 yen in discretionary income. In contrast, unmarried individuals had 50,000 yen or more. family responsibilities significantly impact financial flexibility. Many cut back on fashion and travel, but invest heavily in children's education. This reflects the increasing costs of long-term learning. Beyond finances, many in Generation X support aging parents. They assist with shopping, household tasks, and medical visits. However, few contribute directly to elderly care or housing costs. Among those living with parents, 40% help with daily tasks, while 20% provide medical and digital support. This highlights the growing burden of caregiving. Time constraints add to their struggles. Work and family duties leave little room for rest. A survey in Germany found that parents often sacrifice relaxation and sleep. They prioritize family needs over personal well-being. Without better support systems, these pressures may lead to exhaustion. The urgent need for policies addressing Generation X's challenges is clear.
All right. So now let's move to answer the questions, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1, what financial priorities do Generation X individuals have?
Generation X financially prioritizes household expenses over personal spending.
Yes, you get it correct. This is the correct answer. Financially, Generation X prioritize household expenses over personal spending. Okay, question number 2. How does family responsibility affect the financial flexibility of Generation X?
Okay. Family responsibility significantly impact financial flexibility. Many cut back on fashion and travel, but invest heavily in children education.
Yes, yes, you get the right answer, Cookie. Say a family responsibility significantly impacts financial flexibility, meaning cut backs on fashion and travel but invest heavily in children's education. Good job. Okay, now let's move on to the third question. Why do Generation X individuals struggle with time constraints?
Because work and family duties leave little room for rest.
Yes, yes, you get the right answer. So, work and family duties leave a little room for rest. A survey in Germany found that parents often sacrifice relaxation and sleep. Alright, now let's move on to read out. So in
Mhm.
this part, you are going to read the article aloud.
Okay.
Okay.
Generation X struggling to balance work, family, and health. Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, struggling. Okay.
Alright, we
Okay,
will
it's
come
alright.
back.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay. Struggles to balance work, childcare, and elder care. On November 2024, study by Mintel Japan examined their financial and caregiving burdens in Japan, Germany, and the United States. The study highlights their difficulties in managing expenses and maintaining personal well-being. Financially, Generation X prioritizes household expenses over personal spending. The study found that 70% of financially stable individuals were married. However, most had less than 30,000 yen in discretionary income. In contrast, unmarried individuals have 50,000 or more. Family responsibilities significantly impact financial flexibility. Many cut back on fashion and travel, but invest heavily in children's education. This reflects the increasing cost of long-term learning. Beyond finances, many in Generation X support aging parents. They assist with shopping, household household tasks, and medical visits. However, few contribute directly to elderly care or housing costs. Among those living with parents, 40% help with daily tasks, while 20% provide medical and digital support. This highlights the growing burden of caregiving. The time constraints add to their struggles. Work and family duties leave little room for rest. A survey in Germany found that parents often sacrifice relaxation and sleep. They prioritize family needs over personal well-being. Without better support system, these pressures may lead to exhaustion. The urgent need for policies addressing Generation X challenges is clear.
All right, so yes, thank you for reading it very well, Cookie. All
Mhm.
right, so now let's move on to discussion part, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so in this part, we are going to answer the questions based on our opinion only. Okay,
Hmm.
so let's start with number one. Okay, do you think balancing personal time and work is achievable?
Yes, I do. Yeah, so in terms of balancing personal time and only work is achievable, I think. But I don't. Yeah, some people are rusty at doing so, managing their times, and they sacrifice sometimes their private time for earning additional money by overwork, you know. So that recently is a balancing these times or times is mm, easier than before, I think.
Yes, I agree with your idea that yes, some people they will sacrifice their private time.
Mm-hmm.
It's other like taking overtime or sometimes in a part getting a part-time job
Mm-hmm.
aside from their
I.
full-time
Mm-hmm.
job. Yeah, just to sometimes just to get their achieve goals in financials.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so yes, I also sent the samples answer into the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your future reference.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So yes, I believe balancing personal time and work is possible with proper time management, setting clear boundaries, prioritizing tasks, and using flexible schedules can help people maintain a healthy balance and prevent burnout. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so now let's move on to question number two, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so would you reduce personal spending to invest in education?
Um. Mm,
Yes.
no, I wouldn't. Yeah, reduce personal spending to invest in education only. Yeah, so if I need to pay for my education or my family's education, let's say I don't have family for now, but if I need to do that, I pay for it
In the future, maybe.
in the future, and so totally from the financial standpoint, I need to reduce my expenditures or manage things to buy. I will do that, but for now, I never paid. I have
For
never paid
education.
attention to other expenses in terms of mm, paying for education. You know.
Yeah, but yes, maybe in the future
Mm-hmm.
when you settle down, so yes. But for
Mm.
now, yes, because you are single and
Mm-hmm.
yes, so spend. But still, we have to spend money wisely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So.
spend
Mm.
spend spend money when we need,
Mm-hmm.
not we want.
Mm.
So yes, that is different between we need and we want. So we want
Yes. Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
also still try to spend money wisely. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
next question is, would you be willing to take care of your elderly parents at home?
It's difficult question, and yeah, it's up in the air actually. Yeah, so if I have enough money to mm, pay for their residence, like the facilities,
The home
where so what that
home agent
a
like
home,
that.
yeah, that's right. So I may use that
You will take
option,
it.
yeah, but I think uh, I just say this is up in the air because I have older brothers who is living apart from my residence, so I need to discuss with yeah
With them.
yeah with them.
Yes. Yeah, I hear this. I don't know which country is that, but I heard that like senior citizen, like
Mm-hmm.
70 or 60, something like that, the government will still let them work to exercise their
Ah,
body. I think it's in your country.
so work, work.
Yeah, work. Yeah, work
Ah,
in the restaurant. Some of them. It's not about the money,
uh-huh.
but it's about the body that they work every day to exercise their body, still exercising their body. Yes, I think it's from your country that I read the article.
Oh, yeah,
it's
maybe.
it's it's not here in the article, but I read it somewhere. I think in the online,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yes,
So
some municipalities supports the things, I guess, and so yeah, more and more, I I may see more and more those situations because due to the Japanese aging populations. Mm,
all right. So yes, let's move on to question number 4.
okay, yeah.
Should there be more government programs to support caregivers?
Mm, yes, I should. Yeah, yes, it should. Mm, but I'm not sure how many or how much programs
The
there are,
government.
yeah, from the government for now. But given that like aging population in Japan, yeah, in the future more and more demands are out there. Yeah, so clearly, so yeah, preparing those situations, the government um, should do something in advance. Yeah, so as time passes. So yeah, but uh, as a flip side, um, yeah, so the government should support the parents to increase our birth rate.
Yes,
So
exactly.
they're combating the declining the Japanese population. You know. Mm,
Yes,
yeah.
I agree with your idea. Also, I sent the sample answer into the chat box for your future reference.
Yes.
Yes, more government programs should exist because caregivers often face financial and emotional stress.
Mhm.
Providing financial aid, healthcare support, and training should help improve their well-being and ensure better care for those in need.
Mhm.
All right, now let's move on to question number 5.
Okay.
Do you think financial struggles impact happiness?
Yes, I do. Yeah, definitely true. So financial struggles. Yeah, so the person from the free time or so their happiness. I think. So yeah. Mm. So people have to have the enough money to enjoy their private lives or private things and some entertainment. Yeah.
Okay, we'll have time. Bye
Bye bye.
bye. Yes. Okay.